Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. First, welcome here to Pittsburgh at the Amerisil Forum Stadium. My name is Marcus Baylor, and to my right is Ryan Eastman. How are you doing, dude?
Doing excellent, doing excellent. We are here tonight watching two teams that maybe last year did not go as well as they had hoped. They've made some changes this last offseason through the draft and free agency, and both of them had a little bit of a rough start so far this year, but I've seen progress from both of them, and I'm excited to see what they can show us tonight.
I think one of the first things that you can pretty much add into it is the fact that both teams are relatively young. As we pointed around for both teams making some major changes, wanted to try and focus on more into the future, especially for a Whips team that's been trying to find a way to find some kind of pathing back into contending for a championship. I believe their squad has a total of four rookies starting playing tonight.
Yeah, if it was four rookies starting, we'd have an interesting night. But yes, they are a very, very young team. Four are expected to play tonight. Five total on the team. That makes a third of their roster as rookies, and that kind of is a double-edged sword in the sense of you have a lot of unknown potential that you could tap into, but at the same time, their veteran on the team is Morgan McCarthy and Wesley Lax, and Wesley Lax not in terms of being around for a long time on Arizona. They really do look to McCarthy to be the leader, and he's only in his sixth season as well. So it's a lot of responsibilities being thrust both on the young players and players that maybe wouldn't expect to be considered a veteran or the old guy on the team already.
Yeah, well, it really just comes to show is like how much of veteran leadership that you have on this squad, and also try to bring in the fact of the coaching staff. How well are they able to coach these players up and really develop them into their fullest potential, in order for have this team to succeed in the long term? And I think that's going to be something that's going to be very interesting to see right here, especially when we see rookies like Kyler Anari and Damian Myers getting a chance to play one another.
Yeah, two players picked high in the draft this year, and flipping over to Pittsburgh, not as going as young. They only have two rookies on the team. However, they have seen turnover from their most veteran players. Obviously, Randy Catcher finally retiring, hanging up his jersey, uh, does lose that veteran presence, and now it's kind of on to, at least in terms of players that have been on this team for a while, Takamoto and Tolliver, to kind of carry that emotional weight of the team. But most of the starting lineup is relatively young. I mean, Ulysses is only a second-year player, and he's having to replace a legend in Randy Catcher. Even at the center position, Margaret Warrior is only in her fourth season here, and I want to keep an eye on how Takamoto leaves his team on the floor, especially when she's the main veteran presence out there for most of the game.
Yeah, that is certainly going to be the case. It's really the big question really comes into, can you fill those leadership roles that have been left when it comes to a great player like Randy Catcher? And of course, even years prior when they lost one of their star centers of years ago. So that's going to be the big question here: is who's going to be the next um, main players to really boost up that momentum for the Pittsburgh to really get back into contention.
Yeah, and I think I see the players heading to the floor now.
And yes, here we go, seeing Arizona in the red and the Keystones in the white. We'll see who wins the tip off here, and it is Arizona with O'Hara leading it up.
Yeah, I'm personally enjoying seeing the new Arizona Whips. I think they've brought some life into the roster with their pickups, especially of Inari, who we see here with the ball to start with.
Yes, and O'Hara going for a three, and it is good there. So they are already starting off on the right paw here as they're up 3-0 at the start. And I kind of agree with you there. I think Arizona, I think they have their fair share of criticism over the years of their decision between free agency and in the draft. So now they have an opportunity to be like, you know what, instead of trying to bring in some old players that have been way past their prime, they can finally rely on the young talent that they have, especially with McCarthy being in his prime, as McCarthy misses that layup. Takamoto going in for a quick mid-ranger, and it's good.
Yeah, well, speaking of McCarthy, he's kind of been the one left out of the 2015 class. I mean, he was a highly regarded talent, but he ended up going to a team that was seemingly in a perpetual rebuild, and you'd really like to see him make the playoffs one year and have a go at it.
Going to be the major question is how much patience does McCarthy have right now with the Keystones heading over to Ulysses. Ulysses trying to go for a quick drive into the paint, but it's no good, and Rose gets the board.
Yeah, I mean, this is his 6th year in the league, and if he's not seeing any progress soon, he might need to consider his next contract if he wants to go to a contending team.
And here comes Jalen Rose with the lay-in. 4-year veteran. I believe Rose started off with Dakota, correct?
Correct. He was a part of that crazy trade where Dakota went from number 1 to number 7. And Rose is actually considered a top 3 pick on the boards, but slipped all the way down to Dakota at 7.
Yeah, right now Myers trying to go for a quick fadeaway, but it was no good. Cross now has the board. The rebound was by Rose. And I think that's going to be one of the key factors, is having some players that actually had some championship experience as well. As Takamoto lays it up for the mid-range, and it's no good. Hits the side of the rim, but Warrior is able to clean it up.
Yeah, you talk about championship experience, but at the same time, Rose kind of was in a bad situation on Dakota, forced to play behind, some really great talents and didn't have a lot of chance to grow. So getting away to Arizona might be the place where he can finally spread his wings and soar, as Arizona pulls ahead again by 3.
Yeah, but even then, you can pretty much go to say that he learned quite a bit from those players. If we can see a quick slam there, and I believe that was Gale with the easy dunk.
Yeah, Gale continuing his excellent performance from the Summer Olympics. Definitely stood out to me with his performance, helping lead his nation to victory.
Yeah, right now we're getting some quick defense here by the Pittsburgh Keystones, but it didn't matter too much there, as Arizona was able to get them back up to 3, 9-6 right now. About to hit, just passing 8 minutes and 30 seconds in the first quarter, and we're gonna see a quick drive there, and that was Ulysses once again driving into the paint and scoring.
And Ulysses getting it done down low. Even though he also has the ability to stretch, as we see Ulysses has the ability to stretch, and Cross tries to shoot a 3 of his own, no good.
Yep. And right now we're going to see a quick lay-in there by Damian Myers, the rookie for Pittsburgh, as now they get their first lead of the game, 10-9. And so far, both teams are relying on the paint quite a little bit. I believe it's only 1 3-point attempt that was made so far, as Cross goes for 3 and no good, and Myers gets the board.
Yeah, the Rabbits trying to stretch the range after O'Hara made the very first bucket from beyond the arc. They'll start falling eventually if he gets those open looks, and Garland going for a difficult fadeaway off the screen is no good from beyond the arc.
Yeah, that shot was completely unnecessary to me. I feel like there was nobody there on you. Seemed like a very unnecessary, wild shot, and there's still a lot of time left there. Not a good shot there.
That was attempted but a flashy play.
Indeed. So right now, Jalen Rose trying to find a way to get into the paint, but instead goes for a tough mid-range, and it's no good. They tried to go for an ISO play that time.
Yeah,
and right now, they can see Takamoto slamming it home.
Yeah, that was a fast break opportunity, and Myers passed the ball as soon as the defender started to commit to him. And it left her wide open for that slam dunk there.
Yeah, right now is a good advantage here for Pittsburgh. Another up by 3. Arizona needs to find some kind of answer on offense. They have a couple of missed possessions, as Jalen driving into the paint tries to go for a tough shot there, and he's able to get it down.
Yeah, Warrior, great defense there, using her bigger body to impact the shot without getting called for any kind of contact. And Ulysses, you can't make it from beyond the arc, but you can do a layup like that against a bigger defender? Okay.
Yeah, Ulysses is using his speed right now, just showing the amount of quickness to get into the paint, because that's really been the bread and butter for the Keystones in this game.
Yeah,
And
well,
right now,
the 5'9" Lion kind of having to emulate Lance there and how to make opportunities against a bigger defender.
And Evan Cross, once again, no good there on that shot. So Arizona has gotten a little bit cold as of late, as Takamoto tries to lay it up, but no good. And right now, O'Hara goes for 3, but it hits the side of the rim.
They're just...
Seems like
Go ahead.
I was going to say, it seems like the team's really trying to find desperation of trying to get some kind of offense going.
Oh, wow. Rose swatting the ball out of bounds to avoid a offensive rebound, but it's going to stay with the Keystones. And, yeah, already the threes. I mean, I will give O'Hara there in transition. That was an open look. So I'm not necessarily upset that she took that shot. It's just watching Cross miss so many in a row, it becomes a psychological factor seeing another miss. And an alley-oop to the rookie Myers. No slam dunk, but a lay-in.
Way to get the points going, and now Pittsburgh is up by 5. Arizona has to find a way to get an answer both on the offensive and defensive side, because they've been slacking a little bit here. And
I think they're going to go with their rookie. Anari has done well so far this season, putting a feather in the cap for being a rookie of the year. And, he battled for that rebound, but Warrior won out in the end.
Yeah, right now Tyrone Gare got an open lid and just slams it home, making it look way too easy.
Arizona has to call timeout.
Yeah, and I see a lot of the majority of the second unit get ready to come in, and they don't call timeout here.
Oh, okay.
And right now McCarthy's trying to find some way to get some answer, but it's no good. Going for like a very tough spin move to try to get that shot down. And Ulysses has a chance to extend the lead even more so, as Gale pulls it back, surveying the field, hands it to Ulysses. Ulysses using his speed once again to go for a nice finger roll, and it's good, and the Whips have to call timeout here.
Yeah, beautiful play from Ulysses, dancing down low in the post. The White Lion unable to get shut out there by the defense, just laying it up and in. Definitely him proving that you don't have to be a big player on the court like Anari to have impact.
Yeah, it just goes to show that size doesn't really matter too much as long as you're able to get any kind of way to move around on offense. As right now we do have the Whips finally scoring for the first time in what seems like a good 2 or 3 minutes in this game.
And it was the rookie forcing his way down low, one-on-one, using his body, speaking of, to bash his way down low in the post. We see a block there, but Pitt will keep possession.
Yeah, Ella Blessings tried to go for laying up, but since it didn't hit the side of the rim, they still have to have a tough shot to make, and it's no good. Locks with the rebound. And right now Hazari with the rock. We can find a way to get past the defense, but instead hands it over to Locks, the most veteran player on this team right now. He tries to go for a tough shot in the paint, but gets to draw the foul as Hanks gets his first personal.
Well, if you're not making it from the field, you might as well try and get it from the charity stripe here. And we'll finally see almost a full switch out for the Arizona Whips. And, in fact, a lot of rookies now on the floor. Bezukladnikov and Fullerton take the floor, along with Simpson on the other side as the other rookie for Pitt.
Yep, and Locks has been able to make both of them, so now the deficit is now cut down to 5, 20-15, which is about 3 minutes left in the first quarter. And right now, at this moment, with a lot of young players on this team, some very key minutes, it's going to be interesting how these players respond, as Hanks was able to lay it up and in.
Yeah, even second-year player Hazari last year was a starter regularly, but has found himself on the bench, and his range definitely could come into a factor here tonight. Arizona, that's one area they've really excelled at. Refining is their three-point shooting ability between Evan, Cross, O'Hara, Anari, and Hazari. They have some significant range. It just hasn't worked out tonight here.
Locks try to make the score, but it gets a rebound by Rose there, and Locks able to get the second chance opportunity. Good assist there by Rose.
And not just that, the heads-up play to pass around the two defenders, that giving Locks an open look at the basket off the glass.
Yeah, and even though the fact that they are in a little bit of a deficit, Arizona's still trying to keep pace here with Pittsburgh. As Ella Blessing has the rock. Trying to get a tough pass over to Hanks. Hanks having to do a tough shot on a very long mid-ranger, but it's no good. Lax gets the board. And we'll see if the second unit's able to try and change the momentum up a little bit. And we get to see a nice stolen ball there by Hanks. The horse with the paws there, or the hooves, I should say. As Pittsburgh trying to take advantage of it, and they do so with Hanks cleaning up the boards.
Speaking of hooves, grabbing that offensive board and slamming it down.
Yeah, Christian Hanks, a 7-year veteran here for the Pittsburgh Keystones, really knows how to do very well as a center. As Hazari goes for 3, but it's no good. All right, now Tolliver trying to find a way to get into the paint, but it says passes out to Simpson. Right now, Hanks has a bit of a size advantage here. We'll see how we can take advantage of that. And he tried to pass it into the paint, but it gets intercepted by Fullerton. Good awareness there by Arizona, but not a great pass there by Hanks. But as I say that, Tolliver gets the steal, lays it up, and it's no good. Had a chance to go for the fast break points, but it's not there. As Vlad tries to lay it up, and it's good and one. Draws the foul on Ella Blessing, and that's her first personal.
Oh, wow. That was a really, really messy series of possessions there.
It really was, but Arizona was able to take advantage of it, but they weren't able to get the three-point play, the old school three-point play, as Pittsburgh now has the rock with only 30 seconds left into the game, 24-19. Let's see if they can extend this lead here, as Hanks tries to pass it up, as Tolliver has to make a move here. Instead it goes to Hanks. Hanks go for a tough shot, and it's good.
And that was good internal clock, knowing how long he had with the ball, because it was starting to wind down, but he just got as close to the basket as he could and used his longer limbs to have the advantage of getting it to as close as possible of a shot. And now Arizona, can they make the final shot of this quarter?
Fullerton's looking to do that right now, and it's in and out. So after the end of the first quarter, the Pittsburgh Keystones are up by 7, excuse me, 26-19.
Yeah, the difference has really shown with Arizona missing those threes. Even if they had made 1 or 2, they would be right there with the Keystones. And Keystones have to consider they've been letting the Whips have some open looks, and it's gone to their advantage so far, but if they keep letting them have those opportunities, it may come to bite them in the back.
You think it might be a little bit of a sort of cockiness, saying that we're daring you to take those threes and see if you can take it down? And Hanks tries to stop the interception from happening, but Vlad was there to go for the foul. And once again gets drawn for the foul, but this time no three-point opportunity. But Hanks draws his first personal.
I don't think it's so much cockiness. I think it has to do with Arizona has too many players who can shoot the three, that for Pitt trying to guard 3 good three-point shooters, there's likely going to be one left open unless they are perfectly in sync with how they're defending, especially off of screens, because switching after a screen, you have a very small window to get back in the often the player with the ball's face before they shoot.
Yeah, there's some good points there, as Hanks, who's starting to become more of a centerpiece of the offense, tries to go for a quick finger roll, but it's no good this time. And Arizona has a chance to cut this deficit down by 4 with a shot here.
I mean, they could cut it down by 4 if they get fouled on a three-point attempt to make it and then score.
That is true. Hazari going for a mid-range, and it is good. So they do cut the deficit down to 4, 26-22, as Tolliver is going to be the main fur to lead the fray. You can see a quick screen there, and we can see an alley-oop attempt, but it's no good. I believe the alley-oop attempt was for Hanks, but
yeah, that was Fullerton 100% swiping the ball down and stopping that attempt.
And Hanks, once again, trying to shoot it up, but it's no good. As Fullerton goes for a quick finger roll, and just like that, it's only a 2-point game. Arizona fighting that sense of life here in the past few possessions.
And it's been the defense that's gotten them back into it. And that's an area they've been a bit inconsistent, and that comes from the rookies and having to make adjustments coming from college or even overseas and in a professional level now. And that matchup was not in Fullerton's favor as Hanks had an easy look over him.
Oh, yeah, and a good mid-ranger, too. Even though he has struggled a little bit in those shots recently, it was good that he made that there. And right now, Fullerton trying to find a way to get into the paint, and it's no good, but he gets his own miss, but he loses the ball on the way over. And now the Pittsburgh Keystone has a chance to extend the lead once again as Blessing hands it up to Tolliver. Tolliver gets a quick screen there by Hanks. Getting guarded very well here, and instead it passes back up to Hanks. Tries to drive it in, lays it up, no good, but Hanks gets his own miss, lays it up, and it's in. Nice cleanup duty there by Hanks.
Yeah, Rose needs to do a better job of switching back. That, again, there was just Hanks bullying his way down low to the post, and Rose has to have more of a presence against him.
Yeah, Hanks does have somewhat of a bigger body compared to the two, but it's good to try and show some kind of more effort as Locke is able to lay it up and in. So right now, even though Arizona is a little bit behind, we see the Keystones go for their first time out with about 8:43 left in the first half. They're up by 4. Right now, I think that Arizona has to find a way to slow down Hanks a little bit here in order to really try and take over this game.
Yeah, and we have to see if he gets subbed out here. He had been on the floor for a fair bit of time. That obviously is the advantage for Pitt having both Warrior and Hanks sitting on their bench. And it does, in fact, look like Hanks has gotten an opportunity to rest.
Yep, and we do get to see a majority of the starters come in as well, I believe, for both sides. And Tyrell Gale gets the quick layup and in, so they have extended the lead up to 6. And we'll see how Arizona's starting lineup responds, because they have struggled a little bit.
Yeah, I want to see if they made an adjustment, if they're going to continue trying to shoot the 3, or if maybe they will continue to pound the paint.
And Donbrock tries to lay it up, but it's no good. And right now, Gale loses the ball there, and Donbrock's with the steal. Cross is now slowly bringing it up, handed over to Green. Green trying to go for a quick drive, but instead goes for a mid-range, and it's good.
Yeah, that drive completely froze Ulysses. He wasn't sure if he was supposed to jump for it or continue to fall back to the basket, so ended up being a bit of an open look. And speaking of open look, defense thankfully comes in and gets in Gale's way, but it will be a foul called on Dunbrock.
Yeah, that help defense came in at the right time, because that was an easy lane there for Tyrone Gale. They had no choice but to foul there, so Gale will have to go for 2. We'll see if that will slow them down a little bit.
And I will admit, Arizona, if they can get the 3 starting to roll, that is one way to quickly regain momentum. It's just so painful. Your opponents might be able to get 2 points up, but if you can get 3, in the end, you'll quickly close any deficit.
Yeah, right now, Dunbrock taking his time as pass it up to Green. Green getting a quick screen, going for the mid-range, and it's no good.
You have to make that. That screen was perfect from the rim, and it got him wide open.
Yeah, it's those things you have to take advantage of. We're going to see another foul there. That was a reach-in foul by, oh gosh. Karamo. There we go. Karamo. So Pitt will still have the ball here with 14 seconds left on the shot clock. Ulysses will drive it on his own, and it's good. Right now, Garland has really have been shining in the paint, just driving each and every time, really catching the defense of Pittsburgh, well, the defense of Arizona off guard.
Yeah, like I said, very physical play down on the post, and he has his ability to shoot from range too, and I can't wait to see him extend it out. And Cross has struggled here, stepped inside the line this time to make that basket, and the Whips are starting to pick up their field goal percentage a little bit here, and that's what's gotten them back in this game.
Yeah, and I have to say, even though that you would prefer them going for the 3, I think for Cross, it might have been good for him to take that long range 2, just get that confidence back up. As Myers, really in a tough position, trying to lay it up, but it's no good there. Good defense there by Arizona.
Yeah, double team practically down low in the post, and Cross now driving in himself, and no good. Gale getting the rebound.
Gale with a really good defense there as Tyrone is looking along the 3-point line. Pulling it back. Trying to push it up, and Warrior lays it up, and it's no good, but Warrior does get it back. Myers now hands it up, so they have a chance to get another second chance point opportunity. And that's not going to happen now with Dunbrock getting the steal, and now Arizona is able to get the quick score there.
Yeah, fast break was far too easy 3-on-1, and Keystone's going to call another timeout here. The first one I felt like was just to get their players back on the floor, but they've now watched Arizona continue to chip away at this slight lead they had built, and they need to put a stop to it now before they watch it completely disappear.
Yeah, that's really been the main worry, because right now it seems like that Arizona has been trying to take advantage of some good mismatches, and they've been relying on the screens as well. As Ulysses trying to go for another drive, and once again, he's able to make it. It just seems like Arizona has no answer for Ulysses right now.
And that is arguably another problem for Pitt, is that Ulysses has been their spark plug. 10 of the 38 points have come through his paws. And if Arizona does manage to find a way to shut him down, it could go from bad to worse. And Green, nice little turn spin jumper there.
Yeah, it was a very interesting play. I thought it was going to be really ugly, but he's able to get it in. And right now, Ulysses trying to go for a little bit of a teardrop, but that time it was no good.
Ooh, and just
and
like
we're going to see
that.
an and one there, and I believe that was McCarthy is able to get on the line for one more for the old school 3-point play, and they have a chance to cut the deficit down to 1. You got to say, for both of these teams, they have pretty much bring in all of their effort here.
Yeah, they've matched up well here tonight so far, and unfortunately McCarthy unable to make that work. And keep an eye on Ulysses and see if he continues to try and play through. They continue to play through him, or if perhaps they give it around. Gale unable to make that long 2-pointer work.
Yep, and Kyler Anari, one of the star rookies for the Keystones, able to get that board. Well, not Keystone, excuse me, the Whips able to get that board, but instead they get a quick reach-in foul there by the Keystones.
Yeah, rookie Simpson trying to reach in, but she gets called for that contact, a little too aggressive on Anari.
Yep, and Kyler hands it over to Green, who passes it across. Lots of passing here for Arizona. And they pass it to McCarthy. McCarthy trying to drive into the paint, but no good there. Good defense there by Stone.
Yeah, that was 100% one-on-one play. If you saw every – oh, God, a behind-the-back pass.
And
wow.
one opportunity there. And that's McCarthy's first personal.
But that behind-the-back pass coming out from Gale, I don't think they expected that. And Stone able to power through the contact from the ram and make the bucket plus the and one. But as I was saying, on the last Arizona plays, you saw everyone except for McCarthy stayed at the perimeter. So it was just McCarthy and Stone one-on-one. And McCarthy has to start winning those. And Anari answering back with a bucket of his own for an and one.
Yeah, and I have to say that's probably going to be one of the main keys to really stay into that might come into play into this game are the free throw attempts. And so far, Arizona has been able to get on the line quite a bit. But the problem is actually making it.
Yes.
And they were able to get that one done here, as now the deficit is down to 2, 41-39. They only got less than 4 minutes left into the first half, as Ulysses trying to go into the paint again, but this time no good. Guarded well by McCarthy. Right now Dunbrock tries to lay it up and in, but it's no good. But he's able to get the rebound and draws the foul on Tyrone Gale, so they have a chance to go for 2.
Yeah, she has a chance to tie this game up here if she makes both, but rookie has had limited minutes coming off the deep reserves. Good on the first.
Yeah, and I think that these are some of the moments that you could probably earn some minutes is by trying to be able to go onto the line and really try to give your team a chance to take the lead here. Sure, it's early in the game, but considering momentum really matters when you head back into that locker room as we get into the closing minutes of the second half. And that time, second one was no good. So only a 1-point deficit here, 41-40. Well, less than 3:30 left in the first half.
And another interesting fact, Manny Dunbroch, another brother in the league for Barnaby Dunbroch. You have another set of brothers playing, not on the same team like you and Bobby used to play, but
yeah,
might have a chance to see the two of them end up on the team sometime in the future.
We'll see. A lot of siblings like playing together. We're going to see a quick mid-range there by McCarthy, and they get close down back to 1.
Well, I mean, even Cross has a sibling in the league.
Yep, and right now Ulysses trying to go for a quick drive, and it's no good as McCarthy once again gets the board. Yeah, you're seeing quite a lot of sibling players starting to slowly crawl into this league. It's very interesting to see how these families are really feeling, being able to see all this talent in the FBA.
Arizona looking for their first lead since the first minutes of the game, and there they have it. And McCarthy is pumped as Arizona's up by 1 here with only 2 minutes and some change left in the first half.
Yeah, this is the first lead, I believe, since the early goings of the first quarter. So that's definitely a good momentum swing. And a good defensive stop here is going to be needed as Ulysses tries to look for a tough layup, but it's no good. And right now, Anari, this is to Green. Green trying to lay it up into the paint, but it's no good. Gale with the rebound. And so far, Arizona needs another good stop here. And right now, Pittsburgh really wants to rely on that paint. They have to find a way to clog that up real quick as Ulysses going for a quick mid-range. And once again, he is on fire so far. 12 points so far in this game.
Yeah, I thought they had finally found an answer to him, but instead of driving all the way to the paint, he decided to stick around the free throw line there. Take a little bit less percentage of a shot, but with no defender around it. It was easy in a block there, but McCarthy gets the miss and unfortunately unable to convert the putback.
And that's been one of the main concerns as a quick steal there from McCarthy. Some really good hooves there. And right now, you can see a quick drive going over to Donbrook. Donbrook tries to drive it, but instead has to pull it back. Possibly trying to hand it over to Anari. Anari this time. They guard it pretty well. O'Hara has to do something with it, and it's no good. Great defense there by Pittsburgh. And right now, Simpson's going for a mid-range, and it's no good, but Gale with the rebound. Stone laying it up, and it's in. And so now it is only a 3-point game once again, 47-44. Let's see if the Whips find a way to, of course, eat out this clock and possibly see if they can tie it up here.
I don't even think they'll go for a 3. I think they'll kind of go and attack the paint once again. Their 3-point game has not worked out. O'Hara was the only one with a 3 earlier, but she's going to try a very difficult one there. It's no good.
Yep, and that'll end the first half. The Keystones are now leading by 3, 47-44, as we head into halftime.
Yeah, we'll dive into the stats in just a minute, but great game so far from the second-year player, Garland Ulysses. Definitely showing why Pittsburgh went after him last draft, considering they still had Randy. They started to figure out who would be his eventual replacement. Even though they let go of Eric Kajani previous season to LVG, they definitely found a rising star, it seems, in last year's draft. And diving into the stats so far, speaking of Garland, 12 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, 6 for 13. He did start to cool off there at the end of the second quarter. Gale, 8 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 for 5. Myers, 4 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 for 5. Gale and Ulysses both having taken 1 3, but both missing. And Gale has 2 personal fouls. Takamoto, 4 points, 2 for 4. Warrior, 2 points, but 9 rebounds, 3 of which were offensive, 1 for 2. Springer, 2 rebounds, hasn't taken a shot with her minutes on the floor. With Ulysses playing ISO, it makes a lot of sense there. Simpson, 1 rebound, 0 for 2, but 2 flagrant fouls. Hinks, 10 points, 4 rebounds, and a steal in his limited minutes, and 3 offensive rebounds to those 4 total. Tolliver, 2 assists and a steal, missed his 1 shot. Blessing, an assist and missed 2 field goal attempts. Waylon Stone, perfect, 3 for 3 with 4 rebounds to go along with those 7 points. And Orshot, 1 rebound and a steal. Or block. McCarthy, 6 points, 5 rebounds, 3 for 7. Rose, 4 points, 4 rebounds, an assist and a block, 2 for 3. Kyler Nari, 5 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 for 3 with a made free throw as well. Cross, 6 points, 1 assist, missed his 2 3-pointers. O'Hara, 3 points, 2 rebounds. Started off good with 1 made 3 to start the game, but has not made a bucket since that first 10 seconds. Green, 6 points, 1 assist, a steal, and a block, 3 for 5 from the field. Magny Dombrowski has 1 point, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 steals. Lax, 6 points, 3 rebounds, and an assist. Vladislav, a couple points. Hazari, 2 points, 2 rebounds, and a turnover. And Fullerton, 2 points, 1 rebound. And Karamo hasn't done much in the 4 minutes that he was on the floor.
And that's some good stats there as we go ahead and get ready to start in the second half. As Ulysses, who's really been one of the offensive spark plugs for Pittsburgh, as he tries to lay it up, but it's no good this time as McCarthy gets the rebound. So, of course, you see that time stamp as we get to see that finished real quick as, as we get McCarthy being able to get that quick score. But that does lead me to question, one of these starters have to step up for Arizona when it comes to being that reliant scorer. And right now McCarthy may have to be that.
Yeah, considering as you saw the stats, McCarthy and Nari and Cross kind of all had a similar stat line in terms of total points, unlike Pittsburgh, who had, 1 or 2 players, Ulysses and Hinks, stepping up and getting it done. We'll need to see if Arizona can be successful continuing to spread the ball around, or if one of them will step up and start taking those difficult shots and making them.
And Cross able to finish a 3-point play there as Arizona gets the lead once again. So this is now once again another lead change for Arizona. They had to find a way to extend it here. And we get an and one opportunity for Ulysses as McCarthy is just stunned with that call.
I mean, I don't blame him. I think he is also stunned the fact that Garland made the shot. I mean, the Ram was practically leaning over him, and yet he somehow made that. And instantly, lead change back to Pitt. I think this game is going to be down to the wire if the first 2 quarters is anything to go by.
Yeah, for sure. And right now, it just really goes to show that Ulysses really needs to be contained for Arizona if they want to really sink into this game. And right now, Cross trying to find a way to get into the paint, gets double teamed real quick, and Warrior gets the rebound.
Yeah, that's just not an advantageous position. If he's double teamed, he knows someone is open, and he just needs to dish it out. I know McCarthy was probably the one who was open, but even then, let the Ram get ahead of steam and drive to the basket then.
Well, right now, Pittsburgh's showing a little bit of cold at the start of the second half, so they don't have to worry about it too much. They can easily get this lead back. and they won't be able to do so with that possession.
Again, that was just a bad matchup, and she should have known that. Andari almost steals the ball, and McCarthy now called for his third personal. He's going to have to watch it there. If he gets a fourth too quickly, they might have to sit him down, and Myers will go to the line for 2.
And that's not something you really want if you are Arizona. That's one of your primary stars for this very young team, and without that veteran leadership that he has as well, it could be seen as an issue.
Well, if you consider that, technically speaking, he is the only real center, I'd say, on this 12-man roster that's playing here today. Their backup center is Storer, who's the rookie. You could argue that Lax can play center at 7 foot, but he's primarily been a power forward his whole career. And Inari spinning and getting fancy as the Arctic Fox lays it up and in.
That was almost way too easy for Inari. He's able to get that quick spin move into that lay-in. And right now it's just showing that maybe Kyler could possibly be the one to turn it up a little bit for Arizona, but we have to wait and see as Ulysses almost loses the ball, and Gale gets it, pulls it back, has himself to go for a deep, deep 3, and it's in and out, but Warrior is right there to try and clean it up, but gets fouled by Inari.
Yeah, a little too aggressive on the defense there. Warrior was surrounded, so there was a good chance that she would have missed the shot anyways, but she gets to go to the line 4-2, which she converts both of them.
Yeah, and I think that's, once again, it's just the inexperience really showing for this Arizona team. I mean, this is a much younger team compared to the Keystones, who, while still young, it does have plenty of experience compared to this Whip squad. And right now, McCarthy trying to go for a quick layup, but it's no good. Warrior with the rebound as Gale hands it up to Myers. Myers leading it up, and it's good.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Arizona calls a timeout if this next possession does not go their way. They can't really afford to let Pittsburgh build up a lead, and as you hear, the crowd is getting back into it, and they just download a McCarthy, and he gets fouled from behind from Warrior, so at least a chance for 2 free throws, but I'm a little concerned he'll likely miss one given his overall free throw percentage.
Yeah, that's really been the major concern here, but right now, any amount of points is good points. So it's going to be interesting of what will happen and what kind of game plan they will have going forward. But dishing it to McCarthy, it's going to be good here. He is a really big player on the offensive glass. Right now, the only person that can really go on him right now is Marco Warrior, being 7'6". But we have to wait and see as we get to see the second one being made.
Yeah, good job getting the pair to fall. You always worry about your centers heading to the free throw line as both a player and a coach and a fan. You kind of expect a miss in there, and Gale trying to fight his way to the paint, no good. But Cross, wide open. Oh, he just goes for the layup instead of the fancy dunk.
Well, I can't blame him. As much as I love dunks, I can't blame him there. There was a defender right behind him. It'd be easier for you to just go ahead and get the quick layup before they catch up. So it was a pretty smart play. And right now, Tyrone Gale is to be able to answer back with his own finger roll.
That's his 10th point in this game here tonight, and he's been a little quieter compared to Ulysses, but getting it done as well for the Keystones and putting the pressure back on Arizona. See if maybe they're trying to set up something, but Rose is stuck at the perimeter.
Yeah, and so far, Rose has to go for a tough mid-range. It's no good there. Takamoto gets the rebound. The Keystones, once again, have a chance to extend the lead, but it's no good. I believe that was Gale one more time, trying to go for that 3.
It was, and Nari over the White Lion, and Keystones will actually be the ones to blink first. What do you think Pittsburgh needs to do to finally pull away from Arizona here tonight?
I think right now they just probably need that secondary score to really go ahead and pop off. And what seems to be is going to be Gale here. Of course, there's also Christian Hanks that we have to look into as well. Christian Hanks has done very, very well when the secondary unit is out. And we get to see, and Waylon Stone is subbed in for Myers, and we have another foul there. So we're going to see someone on the line for 2.
Yeah, Gale getting it done, sent to the charity stripe for 2.
Yeah, they have another chance to really kind of extend this lead. And that's one thing we should probably look into as the game continues to stay close for both of these squads, is that these charity stripe is starting to become more and more important as Gale makes the first one.
And Arizona going, minus Rose, going for their full second unit there. Meanwhile, Pittsburgh keeping a majority of the starters in.
Yeah, I think they're trying to find a way to extend this lead even more so. Sure, they're going to be a little bit more exhausted by the a little bit more exhausted as the game goes on, but right now I think it's trying to find some kind of cushion here against this Arizona team, who's really shown a lot of scrappiness in this game.
Yeah, going on the road to Pitt, getting it done so far tonight. They've had multiple leads, even though they've been minuscule at times. And Nazari fading away as the shot clock was starting to expire, and right there is a stat that should be concerning any Pittsburgh player. Arizona's up to 60% field goal in this quarter, and it's been steadily rising from each quarter.
Yeah, right now Ulysses is able to get an alley-oop to Warrior. Quick, easy dunk there. That's one way to try and quiet down the offensive juggernaut. Or at this current moment, need to find a way to get a stop here.
Yeah, and that gets the crowd going once again, and no surprises. Fullerton battling his way down low, but again, the advantage goes to Pittsburgh, and Gale in transition steps inside the shooter's arc and lets loose for another 2.
What a great fast break point there for Pittsburgh, as they're now up by 5. And you get to hear the crowd yelling defense, but they are not, it's not going to do much here as they cut the deficit once again back down to 3.
Yeah, that was a good job from Vlad as a rookie, knowing to pull up there. The defense had kind of settled around him. And double teaming Ulysses, that's one way to answer back, but Lax fouls Warrior, and Warrior will get to go to the line for 2.
Honestly, if anyone has to go for that foul, I would prefer Lax over McCarthy at this point. Well, yes, it's not necessarily foul trouble. The way how McCarthy has been able to rack up those fouls very quickly in the early going of the third quarter can be very concerning, especially with a Pittsburgh team that loves to drive into the paint. And right now, Shirley Takamoto is getting subbed out for Simpson.
Yeah, Pitt's still going to stick with 3 starters in the second half of the third quarter. We'll have to see if they do decide to give them some rest a little later, or if they're going to let them run on E and see if they can milk as much as they can from them this game. It's been close, and this could come back to bite them if fatigue becomes an issue in the waning minutes of the game.
It's going to be interesting on what they're going to have to be doing, especially on the defensive side. And we're going to see a quick miss there for Arizona. And right now, Gale going along the three-point line, finds his lane and gets fouled there pretty hard there by Hazari, but it's a regular shooting foul.
Yeah, the horse may have sold it a little bit. It wasn't like it was a McCarthy coming in and bowling him over. But another chance for free points, but misses the first.
Yeah, that's something you would see for Gale. He misses the second one.
Wow.
That's not really something you would expect, especially in these crucial moments of the game, as Hazari tries to lay it up, and it's good in an and one, so Simpson gets his first personal.
Well, that was her third personal, actually, and she's coming off the bench, so she's actually in foul trouble, starting to get into foul trouble right now.
And that's not really something good that you would expect as Simpson goes and hands it over to Gale.
And maybe I should apologize to Gale. Maybe that hit was a little harder than I thought, missing 2 free throws after that kind of contact. But Ulysses, oh, the defense, enough of an impact.
A good defensive effort there by Vlad, and Jalen Rose is able to go coast to coast, go for the fast break ball, and just like that, we are tied 66 apiece. And the same field goal potential for both teams, 47%.
Ulysses.
And right now, yeah, Ulysses trying to go for a 3, but it's no good. As Fullerton is trying to get into the paint, trying to find some kind of momentum, but instead pulls it back. And right now, Locks being able to clean things up and takes the lead for Arizona, 68-66.
Very clean hook shot off the glass. That's how you beat a bigger opponent, and this time from beyond the arc is good from Gale. 69-68.
Yep, just like that, the Pittsburgh has now taken the lead completely with only up by 1. And that's another key factor that we may need to consider is the fact that the 3-ball can be very lethal, especially in a game like this where both teams are grinding in the mid-range of the paint.
Well, the three-point game has been very quiet tonight, and Gale had gotten most of his work done from mid-range. So him pulling out the 3 right then is a statement to Arizona that they're going to have to defend him on the perimeter. And Stone making a bucket himself.
You know, right now, even though with the numbers of the Whips bench being much more, being really much more productive compared to Pittsburgh's, it's really kind of to show how much effort that Pittsburgh being put into it, being able to hold this lead. And right now we're going to see a quick swat pad over to Lax. That could have been a disaster, but Lax cleans it up, cut the deficit down to 1.
Yeah, that's just good offensive awareness. He saw the ball get tipped out and from Fullerton and just cleaned it up and had the presence of mind to drive to the basket with the shot clock starting to become a problem. And again, I don't blame Pitt calling timeout there. I mean, they only have 3 left, but honestly, it feels like Arizona has the momentum compared to Pitt right now.
Yeah, that's certainly the case. I mean, with how well that the Whips have been able to try and cut the deficit back down to 1, even taking the lead at some point, right now it's going to really go into how well can Pittsburgh really respond to these type of answers. And they've responded pretty well, as Pittsburgh not able to get the conversion, and so the Whips having to take the lead again, and this time Gale gets his 4th personal. Well, no, 4th team foul.
No, 4th personal and 4th team.
Yeah, so out of nowhere, Gale is now in foul trouble a little bit.
Yeah, not just that, but the Pittsburgh made big substitutions. We're finally seeing Gale and Warrior get a chance to rest, but they've left their players on the floor, and Arizona has stayed in this game with their bench, matching up against some of the better starters for Pitt. And if you're Pitt, you're a little worried because Arizona starters are going to have a lot more rest when they come back into the 4th quarter, whereas their players are going to be a bit more gassed. They're only going to have 2 or 4 minutes of a chance to refresh themselves and recuperate.
Yeah, and that'll be a good way to. That's not really a good way to answer here, as Rose is able to get a quick slam there, as now they're up by 3. Pittsburgh needs to find some kind of answer here with their second unit, because right now it is getting ridiculous.
Well, they've seen multiple 5-point leads evaporate, and that's one way, just going up and getting it done on your own. But those kind of low percentage shots can come back to bite you. Maybe it gets the momentum going in your favor, but if you start missing those, it's a slippery slope, and your starters can't necessarily make up a 10-point deficit if you take silly shots.
Yeah, right now we're getting to see Lax wide open there, but surprisingly missed that shot, but gets his own miss, and he's able to clean it up. Yeah, even though Locks has not really gone up to par in his career, you can easily say that Locks is not someone you want to underestimate within the paint.
No, you
And of
don't.
course,
Let's say you want to talk about that play.
yeah, I was going to say that Terrence Oliver is doing the quick mid-ranger there. Really try to keep the Pittsburgh into it, try to take that lead back.
Yeah, and I was going to say Locks definitely, he peaked seemingly in Texas as a full-time starter and then kind of struggled, never really maintained that peak performance. And it's unfortunate, but he has experience and he's shown that experience. And Springer just going to slam it down in transition, taking the lead back for Pitt.
Yeah, and Springer, a great player to be a spark coming off the bench for Pittsburgh. And now the crowd's yelling defense one more time, and it seems to play very well as Tolliver gets the rebound.
Well, you talk about championship experience. Springer, 2 championships to her name, and I mean, obviously last year's was coming off the bench, but she played significant minutes in Plymouth's road to victory, and she has an opportunity to be a main pillar of support for this Pittsburgh coming off the bench.
Yeah, and right now we have Tolliver going for that final shot, and it hits the side of the rim. So Arizona does have the lead by 178-77. What a really close game here for both sides, really showing how much they really want to prove that their young assets belong into this league.
Yeah, and for both teams, it's kind of a question of obviously Pittsburgh, with Ulysses being a second-year player, his contract will be up this season, as is Tyrone Gales, as is Shirley Takamoto. So having some kind of success here is very important for trying to lure these 3 players back. As we see Inari stripped by Orshon, he has a wide open lane to the basket. He's going to slam it down.
Again, very excellent play there by Pittsburgh as they're now up again. It just seems like lead change after lead change. Neither team really trying to find any sort of momentum defensively. Both of them have not really done very well defensively so far in this game.
Yeah, and Evan Cross driving back, unable to make it fancy like a dunk, but 13 points so far for him. He's another player that has an expiring contract off his rookie deal, as will Morgan McCarthy be going into free agency. So Arizona also needing to prove themselves as a viable contender to bring back these players as they've started to develop. Try and convince them that it's worth coming back again.
And right now, O'Hara going for a quick 3, and it is good. That is O'Hara's second 3 of this game.
I think that's her second bucket, period. She made the first 3 in the first couple of seconds of the game, and it took her till the 4th quarter to make another.
So, yeah, and now Arizona has a little bit of a lead. Pittsburgh's squad's real quiet, and once again, another block there, this time by McCarthy. And right now, Inari hands it over to O'Hara. O'Hara laying it up, and it's no good. And Locke gets the rebound, though, but it's taken away there by Pittsburgh. And now Blessing gets to pull it up, trying to slow it down. We get another reach-in foul, but this time it's Lax, and that's going to have Locks getting subbed in there for Dunbrock.
Subbed out for Dunbrock.
Subbed out, yeah, excuse me.
And Pittsburgh already forced to start bringing their starters back in. They did not have a lot of time to catch their breath.
Yeah, that's going to be the major concern here for Pittsburgh, considering that they have had their starters out for so long. Gale going for a quick 3, and it's good.
I would say no rust coming off the bench for him.
Yeah, and just like that, even though the fact that there was a little bit of a concern for these starters, they still could show that they are not afraid to get it done when they need to. As Hanks gets the quick board, that's one play you want to look out for as we go into the 4th quarter. And Myers with the quick dunk.
Yeah, that was off of Gale. Gale has been such a presence on offense that Arizona's defense is starting to cheat towards them, and that leaves other players open, especially in transition.
And like that, Pittsburgh is now up by 1, 84-83, with only about 9 minutes left of this game. And that's some good defense there for Pittsburgh. And Pittsburgh looking to try to get a quick score as Gale has it wide open for 3, and it's no good there. And McCarthy gets the tough rebound. And so the Whips have a chance to try to take the lead once again. McCarthy going for a step back mid-range shot, but it's no good. Right now, Gale hands it over to Hanks. Hanks going for the mid-ranger, but it's no good either. And so right now we're at a bit of a stalemate here. And there's only 8 minutes and 30 seconds left in the game.
O'Hara off the glass. That's her third bucket, and she keeps shooting despite her troubles, but see if it comes out in the end to matter or not. But it puts Arizona up by 1 here.
Yep, and at this point, it's just one of those things. If you're a shooter, that's one of the memos. Just keep going until you get the rhythm going.
And Hinks there dishing down low to Myers for another dunk and another lead change. We've had many so far tonight. I think we're going to see them continue into the waning minutes at this rate.
Yeah, both teams very evenly matched right now. Both trying to vie in a positive win. I'll get a quick mid-range.
Speaking of 16 total lead changes, Pitt did have a 9-point lead at one point, but that was the largest lead. So neither team has managed to get to double-digit advantage over either of them. And Gale going to the post, but Hinks is the one to clean up the miss.
Yeah, and that's, again, one of the players that I'm really looking forward to try and take over. But Pittsburgh needs to get a stop here. And McCarthy, I believe the defender got a hand on it. So that was good on them. But Hanks tried to lay it up.
Oh,
and
gosh.
It's good. And one opportunity there for Christian Hanks after that good defensive stop on the other end against McCarthy.
That was almost a circus play there. He just threw that up there to hope it would go in. And I don't think he expected it either.
Yeah, sometimes the lucky bounces can really come into your favor.
And I will say Pittsburgh probably has a slight advantage here in the sense that they can rely on Hinks to come in and play center if they need to rest Warrior. Whereas for the Whips, there's some questions at their big depth that they may need to address in free agency or even the upcoming draft. Obviously, I would be shocked if they don't try and bring McCarthy back unless his asking price is too high, but they have plenty of cap to play with. They need him to have some kind of backup in case he gets hurt.
Yeah, and so far, it's looking to be a big of a challenge here for Arizona, trying to get some answers into the paint. As Ulysses getting guarded well there, but this time give it up to Gale, and Gale lays it up, and it is good. And just like that, the Pittsburgh Keystones are up by 6, 93-87, with just only about 6 minutes left in the game in its entirety. They have to find a way to get a good stop here on get an offensive game here as Rose passes up to Cross. Cross hits to McCarthy. McCarthy getting guarded well. Tries to go for a tough shot, and it's a shot clock violation.
Ooh.
What a huge mental mistake there by McCarthy.
That was just good defense. The defense was so draped on him, he kept trying to have to do an extra move to try and create the space he needed, and by the time he did, it was too late. And Ulysses, there is the three, pulling it out. He has done so much from the paint, and he throws that in now to put Pitt up by 9 in Arizona. They have no choice. They have to call timeout. This is the biggest lead, the second time they've had a 9-point deficit. Now, there is still time in the game to make it up. It's just they can't afford many mistakes left in this last little under 6 minutes they have to go in this game.
Yep, and right now, Arizona has to find some sort of answer here. As Kyler Renari going for a nice open lane. That's one way to get things going offensively. As Kyler Renari is able to get the quick 2 points in the paint.
And as you saw, field goal percentage-wise is not that different. It has come down to free throws. I'm sure Pitt has had a slight overall advantage when we review the stats at the end of the game.
Yeah, right now Myers trying to lay it up, but it's no good. But Hanks tries to go for a quick putback dunk, but it's not going to happen as Rose is able to get the quick fast break points.
And that is the disadvantage of crashing the glass like that on offense is, as you saw, there was no one there to contest Rose in transition. Ulysses putting the team on his back with another three. Arizona was starting to get back in the groove, and just like that, that is a momentum killer unless Arizona can answer with one of their own.
Yeah, but it's going to be the major question here is who's going to take that three? It could be possibly Cross, but O'Hara may be another option as well, as Cross is set to go for the quick mid-range, but once again, no good.
You honestly need to convert, even if it's just a 2-point play, and thankfully Ulysses misses that three. He was starting to catch on fire and feel it, and Cross dishing to McCarthy. McCarthy slams it down, and the foul, so he'll go to the line for one more.
And that's a really big and important one there, as Christian Hayes has to sit down for a little bit. I think the coach kind of had a little bit of second-hand embarrassment after that dunk.
Well,
as Warrior gets to come back in.
Warrior does have a bit of an advantage in terms of size at 7'6", so she is definitely going to be a more difficult defensive wall to get around. And Pittsburgh needs to start burning some shot clock. They can't sit here and keep forcing it. And Arizona.
Yep.
Oh, foul from Ulysses. They could get it back within 3 here if she makes both these.
Yeah, and that really goes to show that how important these free throws are. The charity stripe. Let's see if they're able to get it down here.
No good on the first.
And those are the ones that you sort of bite you in the butt. And he misses the second one. Arizona having opportunity to cut the deficit down within one possession, but this time it's no dice.
She pulled a Tyrone. She did the exact same thing Tyrone Gale did earlier. But Inari,
yep.
He gets stripped. That was the only thing saving the basket from being made.
Yeah, Shirley Takamoto tried to lay it up, and it's in and one. And once again, we get another personal foul there for McCarthy.
Well, at this point, he's up to 4. I think he's not at risk of fouling out, but you can tell Arizona feels a little deflated after that. They were so close to getting back in. It's not over yet, but the road just got a lot harder, and that miss there makes it even worse. They needed that bucket. Down by 8 with 3 minutes to go. Pittsburgh can just milk the clock here.
Yeah, and I expected to do that here, but Ulysses once again taking a chance to go for the open lane, and no one can stop him. No one can stop him at all. 23 points so far in total.
Yeah, Arizona almost just needs to start shooting the threes and hoping. And Cross will get one to go. That is how they can stay in this game. A defensive stop here, and if they can make another 3, the game gets interesting once again, but they have to put a stop to Gale and Ulysses.
And Gale, speaking of, is still going to continue that onslaught. Gale with 24 tonight, half of the points being in the paint.
Well, half the points of Pitt are from Garland and Gale, basically, alone. And Cross is trying to get it done on his own, and he answers back, but tick-tock, tick-tock. The clock is ticking, and they're almost under 2 minutes left to go in this game.
Yeah, and only down by 7. Each possession is going to be very important if the Whips want to get a chance to get back and get a W on that column. And right now, Warrior left wide open right there. Defense was nowhere to be seen for Arizona. And now things are going to get even more dangerous here.
Yeah, that was too much tunnel vision. They were so focused on stopping Ulysses that they let Warrior just walk her way to the basket. Even though we will see cross go the free throw line. It's not over. There's still a route to victory, but it is a very razor-thin margin, down by 7 here. That's a 3-possession game, and Pittsburgh can burn a whole minute off the clock. Or Gale can just score and make it a game for real, because now down, it's still a 3-possession game, but
I mean, at this point, it's one of those, like, you have to make a 3 each and every possession and get a major stop in order to have a shot. It's definitely a possibility. We've seen crazier stuff as Anari goes for 3, and it's good.
Yeah, they don't have to do a full court press, but I feel like they should, just to try and get a turnover, because they haven't been able to stop Pittsburgh. They have to stop them here, make another 3, and continue on.
And Ulysses actually decided to pass it out over to Myers. Myers laying it up, and it is good. Very wise decision there. And that may be the icing on the cake there. We'll have to wait and see. It depends on this position right here.
I think even then it's over. I mean, it would take a monumental mistakes from Pittsburgh to really let Arizona steal this away. They don't even have to see. Ulysses didn't even try and go for a block there. There's no reason to let him get the bucket. Don't give him an and-one opportunity. You're up by 6 with under a minute left to go. Arizona's not going to foul. They don't technically have to go for a foul just to make them shoot free throws, but at this point it doesn't matter because Ulysses is just going to get it done no matter what. It's 3 points either way for him.
Yeah, Ulysses is just basically just telling the defense of Arizona that you cannot stop me. I'm going to keep doing the same play until you stop me. And so far, that has not been the case. And that's probably what's going to be the dagger for the Whips here, is because they have no answer here for Ulysses.
Well, not just that, only one timeout left. They're going to go for a quick 3, I think. Or O'Hara will drive the paint, and no good. And they won't even go for an intentional foul here. I think they have conceded, and it will go to Pitt. And Warrior will just get a little bit of a last-minute dunk. I don't even think Arizona's going to try and take a shot here, honestly. Or
no,
O'Hara?
They will. As O'Hara looks for a wild shot, and it hits the back of the rim, and I think that will pretty much do it here. But Ulysses hands it over to Takamoto, and Takamoto's just gonna hold it here, as well. They're just passing it around each other, but that should do it. Pittsburgh with the W, as they are now they have won the game 116-106, up by 10.
Yeah, diving into the stats, Gale, 26 total points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists, 10 for 18. Ulysses, 25 points, 3 rebounds, 9 assists, 11 for 24. Myers, 14 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, and a block. Takamoto, 7 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. Warrior, 12 points, 14 rebounds, a double-double for her. Christian Hinks, 15 points, 1 rebound short of a double-double, but had a steal and an assist. Blessing, 2 points, 3 assists, 1 for 4 from the field. Springer, 2 points, 2 rebounds. Simpson, 1 rebound and 3 fouls. Missed her 2 shot attempts. Almost fouling out from the bench is not a good stat line, but Waylon Stone, 9 points, 5 rebounds. Tolliver, 2 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists, and a steal. And Orshot, 2 points, 2 rebounds, and 2 steals, 1 for 3 from the field. And diving on over to Arizona, who I feel like had a bit more spread out game for everyone. Rose, 12 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, and a block. McCarthy, 13 points, 12 rebounds, 2 blocks. Anari, 14 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 6 for 8 from the field, including that 3-pointer that kept them in the game near the end, but not enough. McCarthy started to struggle a little bit, 5 for 12 total from the field, but when it was not very effective in the offensive rebound game, only 1 total. Maybe something to keep in mind if they want to start crashing the boards a little bit more with the Ram. Evan Cross put up 20 points leading the way for the Whips, but was not very efficient, 8 for 18 in that regard. 2 assists, 1 rebound. O'Hara, 10 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists. Also struggled from the field, 4 for 14. Lax, 12 points, 8 rebounds, and 1 assist coming off the bench, 5 for 8 with an offensive rebound. Bezukladikov, 5 points, 2 assists, and 2 steals. Azari, 11 points, 2 rebounds, 4 for 7, 3 for 3 from the free throw line. Fullerton, 2 points, 2 rebounds, and assists, but 2 steals. Struggled a little bit, 1 for 5 from the field. Dungbrock, he had 1 point, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 steals with his limited minutes. Logan Green, 6 points, 1 rebound, 1 steal, 1 block, and Karamo did not have anything of significance. But you can look at the teams, how they compared in the quarters, and Arizona in the first quarter really struggled, going for 7 threes and just nothing was falling for them. And looking at the rest of the quarters, you saw Arizona start coming back into it there, but at the end, Pitt just pulled away at the last possible minute.
Yeah, I had a little bit of mic issue there.
It's
Sorry
okay.
about that. As I was going to get ready to say, that's one of the things that you're gonna have to look into in this game is the whips really struggle to find any sort of good perimeter shooting. It was completely off for this game.
Well, looking at it, they were 1 for 7 in the first quarter, but then of their last 3 quarters, they were 3 for 5. So they found a good rhythm. It's just that first quarter kind of scared them off of taking it more, being more aggressive from the perimeter. And looking at the stats, they gave up a ton of points in the paint. Pittsburgh scored 80 points from down low.
Yeah, that's going to be one of the big concerns here, especially when it came to the drives that we constantly see from a player like Ulysses and even Tyrone Gale. Both of them played exceptionally well in being able to get off the defenders and get into the paint very quickly. And right now, it doesn't seem like anyone in Arizona has that defensive awareness to go ahead and clog up the paint as much as we can and try to force them into a situation where they have to take threes. But even in that regard, they have done better in that by CFA margin too.
Yeah, well, a game is close. I think Whips being very competitive was a good showing for them. How do you think your prospects are for these two teams? Do you think either of them stands a chance of making the playoffs once the season wraps up, or are we possibly are they going to have another shot at the lottery draft again this season?
Well, I certainly believe that the Pittsburgh Keystones have a chance to go into a lower seeded, mainly because of the fact that they do have quite a lot of experienced players, especially with players that come off the bench like Odysseus Springer, who has plenty of playoff experience, someone who's starting like Shirley Sakamoto, who has plenty of um, experience as well. They have more of um a, I wouldn't say stable. I wouldn't say more stable, but pretty much a more I would say a more experienced team and being able to know how to win certain games. Like this one. This one was very scrappy. No one really had an extensive lead up until this point, and I think that that is something that could be good for the Pittsburgh Keystones to have.
Yeah, I agree. I think Arizona does have the unfortunate side effect of being in the West, which has, in the past couple seasons at the very least, has been a lot tougher. I mean, obviously, we had the Division of Death for the longest time, which is looking to be brought back. I mean, all four teams similar. I mean, Santa Ana has been on fire to start this year, and Hawaii's always been good, but uh, their path to the playoff has definitely got a lot more obstacles in their way, and I think their focus will be on showing that they have the potential this season to retain the talent that they have and maybe going after a one big free agent after showing that they have the talent to try and bring one in to push them over the edge. But I'm surprised and happily surprised for Arizona that they're uh, on the right track. I think Pittsburgh struggling last season, not how I think Randy wanted to go out, but it looks like the team he's left behind has some good pieces for going forward, especially with Ulysses potentially coming in as a potential star coming in year two. He has definitely stepped it up here.
Yeah, and honestly, that's going to be something in the making, not having to worry about the point guard right now, as it seems to be pretty set from the experience that we've seen in this game. Of course, we still have plenty of games left to go, and it's been very exciting to see these two teams. But I think we're getting ready to go ahead and set up for the next one in the next few weeks.
Yes, it's Plymouth at SAS on. If I remember correctly, I will pull it up just to double check, but I think it is on the 11th of December.
Yep, you are correct. It is for come from my ear. It is December 11th is going to be the next one up.
SAS at Plymouth. I had the location wrong. Do not book a flight to SAS by accident, Marcus.
I'm not. It's okay.
And then following that, before the end of 2020, we will have Seattle at Albany on the 21st before our break for Christmas.
Yeah, and that's going to be a very exciting games, especially Santa Ana and Plymouth, both two teams that are really showing their case of being possible um uh
Top
really being
seeds in this
top
coming.
seeds in the yeah, really being one of the top seeds in both of their respective conferences, and really could be a potential finals showdown. Like a little preview.
It might be, and Plymouth potentially going for a repeat here with a retooled lineup. But I think it's time to say goodnight to everyone. I've been Ryan Eastman. Thank you for joining me, Marcus Baylor.
No, not a problem.
And thank you all, lovely furs, for tuning in. We will see you on the 11th